Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to extract the output from your MIDI Arpeggiator plugin in Logic Pro without the need for the internal routing that Logic Pro 11 brought. This means it works in older versions of Logic as well, so let's jump in. So here we are in Logic. I've got a very simple 4-bar loop that I pulled together from a MIDI pack. I've put the Arpeggiator plugin onto the track and I've selected a complex chord groove 2, edited it a little bit here to make it a little bit more interesting, and this is what it sounds like. So it sounds quite nice. Obviously the Arpeggiator is really helping bring those chords to life. So that sounds great, but what if I wanted to edit the individual notes that the Arpeggiator is playing? In Logic Pro 11 you can do that by internal MIDI routing, which I've covered in another video. But if you're working on an older version of Logic, it's not that straightforward. Unfortunately, there's no way to record the output of all of your MIDI FX plugins here for any MIDI data that's being played from an existing region. It's possible to do it on a live basis, but that's a different thing, and that's not what we want to achieve here. So fortunately, there is a way of achieving the same thing with the Arpeggiator plugin itself. This works in any version of Logic that's got the Arpeggiator plugin in it, and it's using what we call the live performance buttons. So if I hover over these two icons here, we can see we've got one which is referencing input and one which is referencing output, and you can see nothing's playing at the moment and I can't click on those, they're completely inactive. But if I push space and start playing, they become live, and now I can actually drag them and drop them into my track. Now that's great. That's pretty much what we want. You can see here the input there dragged out the original chords that were being played, just straight chords, and the output has extracted all of those individual notes that are played within the pattern. However, the problem is that depending on where the playhead is at the time you click and drag, you will get a different part of the MIDI region. You can't just do it for your whole section in an easy way. So what I've found is the easiest way of dealing with this is to click on each individual region, hit the U key there to loop just that piece of the sequence, and push play. And I can now extract just the output from that part of the sequence. So and you can see there the input is exactly the same, so I don't really need that. That was just for the purposes of what it's doing. But let's have a listen. So that's exactly what we wanted. So let's move on to the next chord in the sequence. Again, pushing U there, I'll hit play. I'll move on to the next chord in the sequence and push U, play, and the final chord in the sequence, push U and play, and each time I'm just dragging there. So now if I play the entire sequence on my new track, you can see nothing else playing there. And that's got all of the data that the Arpeggiator plugin has played. It's captured all of the velocities, all of the information is there. You could still now apply more MIDI effects to this new output track if you wanted to apply a let's say a randomizer or something to make it humanized, those sort of things. So I find that a really useful way if I'm working on an older version of Logic, which I often do on my laptop, that doesn't have that internal MIDI routing. So I hope you found that useful. Please do hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.